AEW took some steps in the right direction in 2022, but there are changes the company needs to make for 2023 to be a success. In 2022, AEW did a lot of things right, such as creating and elevating new stars, ranging from MJF to Jamie Hayter to The Acclaim, while also delivering some legendary feuds including MJF vs. CM Punk and MJF vs. Wardlow, plus a long list of phenomenal matches all year. Looking ahead to the rest of this calendar year, I have a list of 10 things that need to happen for AEW to be even better in 2023. Number 10. Eliminate backstage drama. The problems backstage in AEW were well documented in 2022, mainly by the talent themselves. There were multiple incidents of backstage fights, mouthing off at media scrums, social media wars between talent, and leaking stories to the media. Tony Khan and AEW management need to get a hold of the locker room and put a stop to all the drama. We the fans don't need to see AEW's dirty laundry trending on Twitter. The wrestlers need to have respect for each other, for the AEW brand, and for Tony Khan himself. Number 9. Avoid injury. There's no question that AEW was bit by the injury bug last year big time. We're talking about major names in the company going down for significant chunks of the year. Names like Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Kenny Omega, Christian Cage, Miro, Andrade. Let's not forget the women like Chris Statlander, Layla Hirsch, Red Velvet, Thunder Rosa, Ruby Soho, and Toni Storm. In order to be successful, AEW is going to need its stars, so let's hope for better luck in 2023. Number 8. Close the forbidden door. The forbidden door is a big part of AEW's history up to this point, but now is the time when AEW has to buckle down and focus on its own roster. AEW has a massive roster of talent, and they need to be building their talent, their characters, and their stories. The Forbidden Door pay-per-view will be that much sweeter if we don't get it every other week on television. This includes ROH, by the way. Make AEW television for AEW stars. Number 7. Bigger, bolder production. AEW has introduced a new set and intro for their weekly shows in 2023. AEW has hired a new senior vice president and co-executive producer, Mike Manzuri, who comes with years of knowledge working on major wrestling productions, such as WWE. I would like to see AEW create special sets for their pay-per-views. I want Revolution to look different from Double or Nothing, from All Out, and Full Gear. Also, take advantage of the themed Dynamite shows such as Beach Break, Road Ranger, Grand Slam, and Winter is Coming. I would also like to see more video packages on the main AEW television shows. AEW does fantastic video packages for their Road 2 series on YouTube. They need to bring those video packages to the main shows because they'd be great for building stories, characters, and hype in 2023. Number 6. Create contrast between dark and elevation. I can't tell you how many times I've read, what's the difference between AEW Dark and Elevation? Honestly, I couldn't give you a great answer, but I have a suggestion on how to make these shows different and better. Number 1, limit the squash matches. Nobody wants to watch a show full of squash matches. Number 2, give the matches time. Only longer matches will get the developmental talent ready for Dynamite. For Elevation, it's taped before Dynamite, so those matches should be closer to TV quality matches and include promo time for the talent. Also, make use of ROH roster on Elevation and include at least one title match on every show. As for Dark, it is mainly taped from Universal, and this is purely a developmental show used for signed talent that may not be ready for TV, or independent talent you may have interest in. They go to Dark first. This shows progression in the shows and rosters. Number 5. Make Rampage great again. The first 2 Rampages ever were must-see TV. Ever since then, it's been a slow decline into mediocrity. It's an hour of major television program that's being wasted by AEW at this point. Rampage needs to have big stars on this show, just as Dynamite. Not only do they need big stars, they need those stars in big matches. Yes, having Jon Moxley on the show is good, but having Jon Moxley versus JD Drake is not. We just had a best of 7 series. You could have thrown one of those matches on Rampage. You need to give the fans a reason to tune in. Carrying stories from Dynamite to Rampage is another way to create interest from one show to the next, like Raw did for SmackDown in the early days. SmackDown is the blueprint to follow. More SmackDown, less Thunder. If possible, please get a better time slot, maybe 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central on Friday, and even going live as often as possible would help. Number 4, push new pillars. Early in AEW, it was about the 4 pillars: MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and Sammy Guevara. Now, 3 years later, we have 2 stars in MJF and Darby, but the jury is still out on Jungle Boy, and Sammy, while a highlight reel, has not shown the ability to be a consistent single star. I think it's time to take 4 new guys and put the machine behind those guys. If they're clicking with the audience, keep it going. If the fans aren't into it, pivot and move to the next. For me, the guys to focus on are Ricky Starks, Swerve Strickland, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Konosuke Takeshita. Now, if you don't like my 4 and you want to pick your own 4, that's fine. Tell me about it in the comment section. But you have to define who you want to push and push them. If you come out with 2 new stars by the end of 2023, I consider that a success. Number 3, a renewed focus on the women. Pretty much since its inception, AEW has been heavily criticized for its women's division for one reason or another. Whether the criticism is warranted or not, AEW needs to improve its portrayal of the women on the show. The very first thing AEW needs to do is create better stories for the women. There is an interesting story going on right now between the AEW originals and the superstars. If they can stick the landing with this angle, it could be the jumpstart that the division needs. Next, find more time for the women. They need more promo time. They need more in-ring time. In order to properly build these women's characters and stories, they need more time. This is why it's important to get the fans watching Rampage and Elevation. You need more time with the people actually watching the shows. Here's another idea. How about an all-women's Battle of the Belt show? The women have been stuck in the same routine for the better part of 2 years. I think it's time we give them more. Number 2, build around MJF. This is pretty self-explanatory. Building around your first homegrown talent. MJF has been the prince that was promised since day 1 in AEW. Now that the prince has been crowned, it's time to build the company around him. MJF can talk the fans into the arena and have the people tuning in every week to see what he'll do next. I need AEW to build a story around MJF's title reign, and not just his contract. Tell the story of MJF finally becoming king. Also, have an end goal in mind, including the challenger that will eventually dethrone MJF. You can make that challenger story run parallel to MJF, but never cross in 2023. Number 1, sign a new TV deal. No need for a long explanation. AEW needs to sign a new TV deal. Without a new TV deal, AEW will be viewed as a failure. Any new TV deal would be good, but a new deal with more money would crown AEW as a success for these first 4 years of existence and make 2023 a success for AEW. And those are my ideas how I would make AEW better in 2023. What are your ideas? How would you make AEW better in 2023? Comment down below. Don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.